This is my classroom. Nothing is happening much in here, but right when you walk in, I added the shelf, which is still empty. I still have to kind of fill it, but I did put some of my favorite books, which are up here at the very top. I'm gonna add little notes so the kids can come and look at them. On this side, I have my podium, which I really like to have so that I can take notes in the morning. I have another small IKEA cube shelf with a lamp, some boxes. All this stuff still is not quite done, but there is one of the bulletin boards that I have to do. Okay, so from there, I have this space, which are my student cabinets, and then I have items on the inside. I have been like scouring all of the Targets for these bins, and I think I need 4 more bins. So I have some items down here at the very end that need to be placed inside of them. Yes, I still need to add labels. Yes, that is gonna come, but right now I feel like it looks pretty good. So that's what that space looks like. All of these cabinets are organized. Again, nothing has labels, but they are looking pretty darn good, if I can say so myself. Okay, from here, I have my space. So it's a little bit better than last time. It's definitely not where it needs to be, but I have my small group table. I am not utilizing a desk. So I have some of my bins that I've used previous years back here, some of my binders, along with the cart, which is a hot mess right now. Don't judge it, but it is gonna get there, I promise you. And then if I look out into my classroom, this is what you see. So one of the other things that I added was this like shelf here, which I use for like technology stuff. So I have different Spiros, I have, Dash and Dot. So some of those items are gonna go there. I put a mirror here. Hey guys, guess what's gonna come back? Outfit of the days. I still have this space, nothing really new changed with that one. Unfortunately, I have a bunch of supplies here, so I can't show you that drawer. But you can see here that a lot of this is cleared up. I added a lamp, added some of my whole group stuff here, a desk. My library is still a mess, but we're gonna ignore that. And then I do have a few things that are over here on the floor that needs to be organized into files. So I'm gonna place them inside of these files here. But I've been adding my files, not that one. So you can see I've been adding some of my files here, slowly but surely. So it's definitely getting better. I'm loving it. It's such a cute little space. Today is all about the bulletin boards. And I am so excited because I finally picked out the colors. I've been, like I said, battling a lot to the point where it's been driving Trent a little bit crazy. So it's gonna be no surprise that I have the color black. Now, this is a full flat sheet from Walmart. You want the twin. The twins are way cheaper. However, they're sold out because all the teachers are doing black bulletin boards. So can't find any, which is a little bit of a struggle. So I bought 2 of these right now, and we're gonna see how much I can get done. But the big, what do they call it? The pièce de résistance? I don't know, that didn't come out right. Are these 2 fabrics. So I have to say I went to Joann Fabrics because I was not happy with the sheet choices that are out there. I went to Target, I went to Walmart, and I just couldn't pick a color that I was really, really loving. So I ended up getting some kind of pricey stuff. But I will tell you they have a 50% off coupon, so definitely use that on their site. So I've got this color, which I thought looked very similar to that blue that's up there. It's not identical, but it is really, really pretty. So I picked this one up for that big bulletin board, which is over there. And then, y'all know how much I love green. I picked this one up. So same fabric, same like feel to them, which is like a jersey material, which I kind of like. It has a little bit of stretch to it. I loved this color, so I'm gonna use this one for that bulletin board. Careful now. that one. And then there's one outside of my door that I'm gonna place that on as well. So you're probably wondering, what am I gonna do with these? I think I'm gonna do black because there's a lot of them. I don't want to leave it the color that it is now because you can see some of the fading with it. It doesn't come out very well on camera, but you can definitely see it. Actually, I feel like I can see it there. So I'm not going to leave it the way it is. I think I'm going to put black on it. And then I'm also going to put black all around the chalkboard. And my thinking was, because the chalkboard is already black, if I do everything else, it all kind of blends in together, and I thought it would make it a really good look. I got tired of walking. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna talk you through just my logic for how I set up my bulletin boards and how I kind of put them on, but I'm very excited. So I'm gonna get out my stapler, get out my big staple gun that I sometimes will use, and let's see how much I can get done tonight. So one of the things that I had to make adjustments to was because of the fabric that I chose from Joann, although look at that, isn't that pretty? But because of the type of fabric I chose, which is a jersey, it's a very stretchy material. I couldn't start stapling right away. Normally with those like sheets that you get from Walmart, because they are much rougher material, you can very easily like kind of stretch it a little bit, or it'll kind of fit nicely. It doesn't have as much give. This has a lot of give, too much give, to be honest. So what I did is I've started kind of going around with push pins first to get the fit right before I go in and start stapling. Now I've sent in for reinforcements. So Trent is going to be coming, my husband, to one, bring me some staples for my light staple gun that I have, and two, to help me with this one because it's hard. I mean, I could just go and do the push pins all the way around and just hope that it works out, but it's a lot. So I just asked him, he said, I'm happy to come help. I'm gonna take that help. So I don't have any like teacher friends here yet, because it's a new school for me, so I'm gonna rely on my husband.
What are those staples, Rom?
My reinforcements showed up, and he brought chocolate and staples.
And rain.
And rain. It's really pouring. Hopefully it'll get a little bit cooler and I won't be as glistening. Okay, let's get to it. Shall we start with push pins? Can't pull it because I have the wrong material. Sheet tube. So it looks a little bit sloppy, but I wanted to show you guys that with the handle right here, what I did is I just kind of pulled it as tight as I could and I stapled along here so that it was very taut right here. And all I did was cut like a little line, so I just sliced it. So now you can see here, oops, you can see here that you can see kind of where I cut it, but that's gonna get covered up with some border. So it looks sloppy, but border always makes everything look a whole lot better. In order to move the process along, because that little door right there took me forever, I ended up just taking the sheet all the way across as much as I could. And then I cut it off at the bottom and then I added it on that side. So that way I was able to hopefully get a lot more done within a shorter amount of time. Let's hope, cross our fingers, that this works.
But maybe I'll go get kids ready.
For what?
For bed.
So some really fun turn of events just happened right now. I was working in my room. I was cutting up because I had just finished stapling the black doors like above the cabinets. And I hear a beep. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds like an alarm beep. And so I go running out of my classroom. I'm like, hello? Is somebody there? And then I hear the beep again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think there's somebody like was setting the alarm on me. And so I run to my phone and I go to do like an all call, just saying, checking to see if anybody's in the building. And then like moments later, I hear a beep again. Like it was seconds later, to be honest. I hear the beep again. And then somebody ends up calling me. And she was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that you were in the building. Bless her. She was the sweetest person I have ever met. But it was just funny that we met in those circumstances. And I told her if I would end up on the 10 o'clock news because the police come and arrest me for what is it called? Like invading intrusion. Like, oh my goodness gracious. That was crazy. So I ended up leaving like minutes after because I was so terrified of being in that building. It was really, really dark in there. Not as dark out here, but it was really, really dark in there. So I am going home. I have all of my bulletin boards except for the one in the hallway with fabric. So now what I just need to do is put border and kind of decide what is going to be on what bulletin boards. So hopefully I'll be able to get that done fairly quickly tomorrow. But that's going to be the goal. So I will see you guys in the morning. Last night taught me a lot of really good lessons. Lesson number 1, jersey material is terrible for bulletin boards. Yes, it feels great on your fingers. Yes, the colors might be beautiful, but it is terrible for bulletin boards. 2, having a really good pair of scissors is important. So I recommend that you buy a brand new set of scissors for when you're trying to cut the extra off the bulletin board. And 3, push pins are your best friend when you're trying to put them up. I like to do it off of the length and then the width, and then I will staple around and then just kind of trying to pull the rest of the material. But these are lifesavers. And then lesson number 4, did I mention that jersey material sucks for bulletin boards? It is out there. I already have my bulletin boards up, and that's all that matters. Okay, so let's talk bulletin border for just a little bit. I don't like any of the bulletin borders that are out there. So I feel like they're overly used in classrooms online, and I just wanted to do something different. So I am using the black Bordette bulletin border. And my thought is that for this one, it's going to be the thing that kind of ties everything together. I like this one. I like the ribbedness of it, mainly because it's not super shiny. I think that's why I love this one the most. So I have this one, which I'm going to use all around the black bulletin board. I am not adding anything else other than this to any of these up here. Everything else is still in question. I'm not really sure what I want to do. I think I want to do like a 3-layer bulletin border here, maybe a 2-layer there, maybe a 1 or 2 here, and then finally a 1 or 2 here. But here's what I did do. I picked up the colors that I'm really loving. So blues, greens. I figured what I could do is like kind of slice them into little pieces where I could almost create a gradient if I wanted to. Or I can mix and match them if I so choose. But I did pick this one up from Hobby Lobby. And then I picked this one up from Hobby Lobby as well. And I really like it. I figured cutting it into strips and have it peeking out from under this would look really cool. So for right now, I have a student who's coming to my room. There are people that can see me videoing, so I'm walking to the other side of my room. But I have a student who I taught at my previous district. I had him for 3 years. His mom actually works in the district. She was one of the reasons why I was able to get this job, so very excited. But he's gonna come and check out my new room. I get to see him. He's like a grown little man, which I can't even believe, because I had him for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, y'all. It's crazy. It's crazy. And now I think he's 8th grade, 9th grade? Oh, I don't even remember. we'll catch up on all the things I'm sure while they're here. But he loves technology and he's so good at all of it that I was like, just come and set it all up for me. So then that way I don't have to do any of it. So he's gonna come do that and I'm gonna be working on the border. But I may not record while they're here. So I'll give you guys a little update in just a second. Okay. Ha! I have speakers! This is so cool! So my student that I had for 3 years, he came to help. And he is a tech guru. Tech guru. Always used to love to tell me how to run all the tech in my classroom. You were fantastic at it. And now he's got it to work. Ah, you're great. You're fantastic. This is so cool. I'm gonna be living my best life with this and that dehumidifier. So we got a dehumidifier inside of the classroom because it was just very soupy. My hair is a hot mess. But now what I'm gonna do is start putting border around the doors. I think what I decided is that I'm just gonna mimic what I did in the front and just do black all around it. One, to keep it very clean because this board is gonna get very, very busy with having picture books and vocabulary words on it. So this will make it look very neat and clean. That's the plan. And then I have somebody else helping me over there. So lots of hands. That means I'm gonna get done pretty quick and that makes me feel really good. Work.
How many do you teach your interns next year?
So I think I'm done. It feels so much cooler. I'm gonna give you guys a little update on bulletin boards. But we are chugging along and getting a bunch of them done. I did decide not to use the paper ones, and I can't remember if I said this, but I did decide not to use the paper ones because they're gonna curl due to the humidity. So we're sticking with normal border right now. I may go home and laminate some paper to create the 3 layers, but that's just gonna have to wait. At least for right now, it's looking pretty good. So my helpers are gone and I apologize about the back noise because I got a very large dehumidifier inside of my classroom because it was very, very moist. It was like, it was walking in soup. It was very gross. So very glad that I got that and we're just gonna have to deal with the sound. I'm sorry. So I wanted to give you guys an update of what it looks like because we did a lot of work. I was very, very thankful for the extra hands that I had inside of this classroom. So let me turn you guys around and let's talk through it. So on this bulletin board, I kept things very, very simple. I decided to just do the black going around it versus doing multiple borders. And a couple of reasons for that. One, I didn't want to do the work. 2, I thought the green and the black looks really, really nice together. So kept that one very simple. And then the next ones are gonna be the cabinets here. So I love the black. You're gonna notice there are a lot of like white spots here. So what I'm gonna do in just a little bit is take my Expo marker and I'm just gonna go around and try to fill some of those in. Unfortunately, when we were trying to tear the board out from the roll itself, they were sticking really bad. So it was really hard to get them to come off pretty clean. But I think just by going with an Expo marker, I think it's gonna look fine. So that is what I'm gonna do next. I still have to get extra fabric for that one. This space over here is the same as the one right when we go into the door. It has the green, kept it very simple with the black. I also think that it's gonna allow me to be able to use way more space because they're not very big bulletin boards. And so if I was to create more layers, it would shrink the space tremendously. And so I didn't want to do that. So I love that. I think it looks good. Then I have the front. I really love how this one turned out. I have never done the black on black and I think it looks great. So here I have the black on black. And again, there are some parts where you can kind of see a little bit of the white. Up here, I apologize of the sound, guys. Up here, I'm gonna go through with a Sharpie and color those in with black just so that you can't see them. But I love the look of it. I think it looks fantastic. The final bulletin board that I have is gonna be the blue one. Now I'm still wanting to do a 3-layer system here because it is a very large bulletin board. And my thought is that I'm going to use this for anchor charts. So I love where I went so far. I like that the black, the boardette kind of ties everything together. I love this right here that it kind of adds in the colors from everywhere else in the room. I just think it looks great. And look how perfect this looks. Like, it looks so perfect together. Love the colors together. I think I'm still gonna add, let me see if I can find it. This one here. I think I'm still going to cut these up. I might laminate them just to help prevent them from curling because of the humidity, and then go in and add these behind that green point. So it'll have this first, then the kind of leafy looking border, and then the black. And I think that'll look really nice. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think it's worth it? Do you think I should bother adding that 3rd border? But I do think it would make everything look really, really nice. So let me know down in the comments. So while my previous student was here helping, I told you guys that he was really good with technology. And so one of the things that I told him I really wanted him to work on was my speaker system that I have. So if you guys remember, if you have not seen my classroom tour, I talked about this system that's up here. And we knew that it had a little microphone. We did not know exactly how it all worked. Thankfully, he was able to get it all attached. So I want to show you what that looks like. Okay, so I have 2 different microphones that I'm going to be using. In my previous school, I had one that I would just have clipped around my neck, and I loved it, loved it. This one is a lapel mic, which I'm very, very familiar with using just because I do these sometimes for my videos. But all I do, it has just a battery inside of it. All I do is I have to come in, and then I just turn that on. Hello? And now you can hear how it's all connected. This is fantastic. I love it. What I also love is that I have this catch box that I can turn on, and students can then use this. So I can, it's kind of with a magnet, and then I can throw this around the classroom, and then students are able to talk into it and have their voice projected. So I can have both of them on, which is incredibly beneficial. So we got that figured out, which is, I feel like it's a win in my book. So I wanted to show you guys the difference. So here's what it looks like when I don't have it colored in. And then here's the line right here once they are colored in. So you can kind of still see it, but it looks way better than having those really large staples sticking out. So I turned the dehumidifier off for just a little bit so that I can talk you guys through this next part without it sounding too loud. So I've been spending a little bit of time just kind of cleaning up my space. I got my desk cleared up a little bit. I got a lot of the stuff that was on the floor back here cleaned up, and I'm starting to feel like it's looking like a classroom again. It's so interesting how messy everything is. Whenever you're doing bulletin boards, everything just gets really, really messy because you have to move things out of the way. So I want to have you guys help me, and I'm going to talk through my plans for what to do with my bulletin boards. I didn't have a ton of bulletin boards when I was at my previous school, and so I have quite a few of them now, which figuring out what I want to do with them is a little bit hard. So I'm going to tell you my plans. You guys tell me if you have other ideas. Or if you think that they're going to be good, just let me know. Remember, 4th grade ELA social studies, okay? So here's what I'm thinking. So first off, for this little space, I want this to be just like a notification area. So one of the things that I was thinking about doing was having the date up here. So I'm not going to put it up at the front of the board. I'm going to place it here. I was also thinking about putting their lunch menu up here, having the emergency information on that clipboard there. But it's kind of a hub for what is today? Like what's going on right now in the classroom? So that's what I'm thinking in that spot. I would really like to utilize this space right here, and then have my first aid kit maybe down here at the bottom, but I'm not sure if I can do that. So I've got to check on that piece of it, but it would be nice if I almost had like a whiteboard or something over here that I could just kind of add some quick information for my students. What are your thoughts? Like that so far? For the next one, I already have an idea for these. This, I've decided to use this as my vocabulary wall. Now I'm gonna place a picture like over here somewhere of what this looked like in my old school. So I used these very large doors for it. I quickly found out that I was running out of space. So I think I'm gonna have to use all of these cabinets to place the books that we're reading along with the vocabulary words. So that's gonna go there. And because that's very colorful and very cluttery, that's kind of why I kept all the black there. So that's gonna be that space. Over here, I have my space. I changed out those clipboards here. I had kind of some brownish ones, but found these instead to put my targets, my learning targets for my students, and then also checklists, that type of thing there. But then I can add some more, like, I usually put like my school calendar, things like that. So that was my thought there. But I was also thinking about taking this whiteboard and putting it long ways over here, because I like to have my students write their names on it when I need to meet with them for conferences. So it's like a nice, quick, easy way for me to be able to write their names, or for them to write their names if they have to. But I worry that it might be one too high or too far away for them to reach. Not sure. You let me know. And then on this side, my thought for this bulletin board right here is to place my my Read-Aloud Tracker. So again, I'll put a picture up so that you guys can see what that looks like. So I'm gonna place my Read-Aloud Tracker in this area so that we can keep track of those. I don't necessarily know what to do with this very top part. Yes, I could put a number line. Yes, I could put like an ABC. I don't really want to do that. It sounds terrible, but I don't. I do know that at the start of the year we do, or at least I do, hopes and dreams with my students in order to create our rules. So we create promises as a class because we want school to be a certain way. I'm going to use these. I'm just going to very delicately take this part off and then switch it out with what my students end up placing. But those are going to go up there. So that is where I was thinking of placing some of those items. And I think it looks really, really cool up there at the top. So if you have an idea, I mean, other than a number line or an ABC line type thing, let me know. I don't know what to do yet. Okay, for this one, I mentioned earlier that I want this to be anchor charts, and I'm pretty sure that that's what I'm gonna keep it as. So this is gonna house a lot of the anchor charts that we create as a class, so that I can keep them posted up here for students to be able to reflect on. I am gonna get a binder to place here for when we're switching out some of those anchor charts. I can keep a copy of it inside of the binder itself. So let me know what you guys think of that. And that's really about it. That is kind of what the space is starting to look like. I feel like I've made tremendous progress when it comes to the classroom and how it's organized and how it's decorated. However, I have a lot more to go. I recognize that. There is a lot going on here. So my hope is that I can try to get up a couple of videos up next week. So make sure that you have the notification bell turned on so that you can see those. So I might do 2 different videos next week of just trying to get things done. Now that I'm not going through any induction meetings, I don't really have anything else planned. I need this classroom to be done next week, so that way I can start prepping and planning for back to school night, for meet the teacher, and then also for the first day of school. I mean, because that's gonna be here before you know it, guys. It's pretty wild. But I hope that you have so far enjoyed this video. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you made it this far, like, you deserve a reward. But thank you guys so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate it. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, also give me a thumbs up, like the video. It really does help me to get the video out there for other teachers to be able to see. So thank you all so much, and I will catch you all very, very soon. Bye.